Hey, today we're giving you our top 6 fantasy football breakout players for 2020. These are the players who will make that jump this year and help you win your league. And we're going to tell you which players to target. Right meow.
Hit that drop. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Upside. I am Justin and that is Kyle, and we want to say thank you. Thanks for dropping by our Fantasy Football podcast and YouTube channel. And without further ado, we're going to be going through our top 6 2020 Fantasy Football breakout players. Yesterday, we gave you our top 6 2020 Fantasy Football sleepers. Try saying that 6 times fast. It's awesome. Yeah. But definitely check out those. They're in the description below and above, so click on those. Kyle, what you got?
Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking about fantasy football all season long. It looks like we might have a season, guys. We might actually have a season.
We may not have a preseason.
Yeah, we may not have much.
Nobody watches preseason anyway.
Those games don't count, I heard. But they still charge you for them if you go to them.
Yes, they do.
The beer is still $15. But hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell. That way you get notified every time that we're uploading the podcast. And that's going to be every single day, it looks like, going forward. Yep. So make sure you do that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in headfirst into that shallow end, Justin.
Sorry,
I know you love that.
That's the hashtag analysis you're going to get is our concession stand prices. I mean, that's an analysis we're going to break down for you guys.
Yeah, that and I don't know, something terrible. Probably like just the type of snow that they're playing in Chicago, and
and then random movie quotes will be dropping in here there as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we got tons of those.
Say you strike this guy out.
Yeah,
we finally got the drop in.
Oh yeah, we got that.
We did.
All right, yeah, there it is.
Let's give them what they want. Let's give them what they want.
Our first breakout player at QB, we have Kyler Murray.
Yes.
We debated a lot about who we would put here, and we settled on Kyler Murray. And the reason that we settled there is, though he is being drafted fairly high right now, we believe that people are just being correct, that he's going to break out, that he's due. Yep. This is an offense that's going to have a ton of opportunity, and they're going to finish in the top, probably, I would bet top 6 scoring offenses. I would make it a lock that it's top 12 at least. And in that scenario, you want a quarterback that's going to do that. That's really what you're looking for. His success is most often tied to the scoring output of the offense, and 70 throws a game. Maybe. I don't know.
Not out of the question, I guess.
It's not, I guess. No. I mean, they've got 3 legitimate wide receivers who are all solid guys. Isabella, I think, is going to show up. You've got a really good running back there. You've got who's going to catch the ball as well. Yeah. So I think it's a pretty good opportunity. And then you have Cliff Kingsbury.
70, but
I'm joking. I'm being facetious. I'm exaggerating. I'm trying to tell you that this is a guy you should take, right? Yes. But I'm not paying the price for him. But I expect him to break out. So if there is a guy that you're going to reach for early who you want upside out of, that's Kyler Murray. And that's what I've got on him. You got anything to add in on Kyler?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was a rookie last year. Rookie QBs, up and down. He still finished as the 7th best rookie. I definitely see a progression in his touchdown.
Is that rookie overall or QB rookie? I think that's rookie overall. Yeah. 7th best QB rookie?
No, 7th best QB.
Yeah.
In fantasy last year. Sorry, my bad. But I definitely see a progression in the touchdown department with Kyler Murray. He only had 20 passing touchdowns, and he had like 3.7% was his touchdown percentage, which is a lot lower than the NFL average around 5. Mm-hmm. So if you just put him at average, you're looking at 27 last year.
Well, I mean, why would he throw more touchdowns this year? I can't think of anything that's changed.
Did we talk about a guy that
I don't know who?
Bill O'Brien woke up one morning and said, "Hey, I want to trade future Hall of Famer and DeAndre Hopkins"?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
I don't think he's good.
No, not at all, right? He's now wide receiver 1. Imagine like what Deshaun Watson was doing with that guy, and then you're in an offense that's going to throw
that wants to throw it even more.
Yeah, wants to throw it even more.
Yeah. So that's and we didn't even talk about the rushing floor this guy has. I mean, that guy scrambles. He's fast.
Yeah.
He added 4 rushing touchdowns last year, 544 yards on the ground. If you repeat that have some more passing touchdowns, hey, we're looking at top 3 QB.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a very odd sort of comparable, I think, is Russell Wilson. Younger. I mean, Russell Wilson's only been in the league like 8 years or so, but he's younger version of Russell Wilson. He's a little bit smaller. He's not as stout as Wilson. Russell Wilson. And well, hey, look, the difference between the two is the type of offense that they're in. In Seattle, they want to run the ball constantly and consistently. So the rushing opportunities are not as few or is not as often for Wilson. He runs when he gets the dropbacks, which isn't as often as what you're going to see out of Kyler Murray. So you do have that little bit of upside, that little bit of rushing floor that you're going to get out of him. These are not designed runs. They're not running this guy. They're not doing the friggin', what's the option? They're not doing the option and stuff like that. This isn't RG3. No. Okay. So this is and it's definitely not Lamar Jackson. But it is a good opportunity for a high volume. So let's move on here. Let's hit up. We've got 2 running backs. Who do you have for me first here, Justin, as a breakout running back this season?
Yeah, we don't have this in order or anything like that, but our first running back that we're going to have for our breakout player is Ronald Jones, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you've been following our channel, we've been hammering the table here, talking about Ronald Jones quite a bit, and that just gives you an idea of how much we do believe in the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say that, coming from his rookie year, where he was super disappointing on 77 yards and 30 touches.
Mm-hmm.
But last year he came back with 1,003 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Still finished as the 26th best running back. So he definitely flashed last year. And his main competitor, Peyton Barber, is gone.
Yeah.
They did draft Keyshawn Vaughn. Let's talk about the elephant in the room with Ronald Jones. But it's one of those things where Bruce Arians has shown that he may not trust a rookie running back in his times in Arizona. David Johnson, I think it was 2015 was his rookie year. He didn't start playing until his 12th week, and that was only after Chris Johnson went down with injury. So why should that stop the same way? So, and also, I mean, with hashtag Twami there, I'm sure he wants a veteran back there that knows the offense that Bruce Arians wants to play.
Yeah.
Compared to a rookie that's probably not going to have much practice time.
Well, and also Ronald Jones is going to have a lot more opportunity to catch the ball coming out of the backfield. Yes. And I think that's a little bit more like what they want to accomplish in their offense. They want to take the pressure off of Brady to throw the ball deep down the field consistently. They want to be a little bit more versatile. They want to cause the defense to have to spread out wider because they have to mind the fact that the running back is a potential target on every single play that's a drop back, that sort of stuff. If there's a little bit of a knock on Ronald Jones, it's that the last 2 years he's not shown really a great sense of, pass blocking skill. And he's been working on that from what I've seen. And I think that's really he has to know that's the weak spot in his game that's going to cause him to either be on the field or not on the field for every play. We're not saying that this guy's going to get, bell cow carries, like 60+% of the carries or anything like that. That's modern NFL bell cow.
Right.
But what we are saying is that he has a very good chance of getting that, and he's going to perform for you. This is an offense that's going to score a whole lot of points. He is going to be on the field a lot, and he is not going to be game scripted out. He's just not going to.
No.
So if they fall behind, he's going to be on the field because he's a pass catching back still. So you're not getting game scripted out. This is a guy who's going – he's going where? I mean, like 3rd, 4th, 5th round, somewhere in that neighborhood.
It's actually probably more around still like the 5th or 6th round right now.
Gosh. I'd pay 3rd.
So that's why it's still a really good value.
Yeah. I'd pay 3rd depending on how my team's being built. I would gladly take him in the 4th round right now.
Right.
I believe in him. I believe in that offense.
Absolutely.
Too. So
hey, let's go up next. What we got next?
Next we have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Eclair, the donut, our man in Kansas City. Look,
affectionately known. We affectionately call him the Eclair.
Yeah. Yeah. And this guy is going to be a star, and he's gonna get a lot of work. It's going to be ridiculous. We were talking about this beforehand that Andy Reid has said that Clyde Edwards-Helaire reminds him of Brian Westbrook on tape, and if you've been playing fantasy for a little while, you might remember what Andy Reid did with Brian Westbrook for fantasy football.
Yeah.
Fantasy football, he was somebody everybody knew. In regular NFL, maybe he was not, he was one facet of the offense. And so he didn't stand out as much. But if this guy's getting used in the same way that Brian Westbrook was, absolutely. I want to throw out a stat for you that I think is really important, and that is that first-round running backs typically average 280 touches in their first year. And if he gets 280 touches in an offense that's the number one offense, has real potential to be the number one scoring offense, this guy is just going to be a phenomenal value for you.
Yep.
And I'd put him inside the top 12 running backs as a result. I think right now he's still going like fourth round or something like that. But I would take him back in the second round.
He's still being drafted as an RB2 right now, and that's still a really good value.
Yeah. I mean, it's wrong.
Right.
But that's your benefit, right? You get to take him as an RB2 in the third or fourth round, maybe even fifth round. But you're getting a guy who's should be a second rounder probably. So, you got anything to add in there on the Eclair?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things, man. This guy doesn't have to come off the field. He doesn't have to because he is a 3-down back in this league. And, I mean, you're the first running back off the NFL draft board for a reason. He's a bowling bowl full of knives kind of running back. That was always my favorite one.
A bowling ball
Maurice
full
Jones
of knives?
Drew. Oh, yeah. That's what
great.
Someone called Maurice Jones-Drew. And I kind of see a little bit of that in Clyde Edwards-Helaire's game.
Yeah.
And if you're on the field a lot in this offense and you have Damian Williams in that running back room, but he has flash as well, but this guy can't stay healthy.
No.
He just can't.
I don't even think it's relying on the health.
Yeah, Andy Reid still believes in him, but it's like they had to believe in him from what they had else these last couple of years. They had to sign LaShawn McCoy off the heap.
Yeah.
So
this is an offense that's been starving for a talented running back, and they've got it. They locked up their QB, and they believe they've got their running back. This is an offense that's potent, and these two guys are going to be phenomenal. All right, who do you have for me in wide receiver? We've got 2 wide receivers.
Yep. Our first one we're going to talk about is Calvin Ridley, Atlanta Falcons. I like Calvin Ridley, man. This guy just keeps improving. This guy catches touchdowns. He's shown it. I think he had 10 his rookie year, and he had 7 last year in 14 games. And reason why I say 14 games, he was out, I think, is an abdominal injury. But weeks 1 through 14, wide receiver number 10, Kyle. Wide receiver number 10. And he's still being drafted as a wide receiver 2. And so that means you're looking 4th, 5th round. So you still get some great value. Dirk Cutter wants to throw the ball. We've talked a lot about Falcons on this podcast, on this YouTube channel. And there's a reason is they love to throw the ball, and that means offense. That means potential for fantasy
scoring.
football.
Yeah, they're a high-scoring offense. You target those in fantasy football. That's
I mean, Dirk Cutter come out. He's just like, this guy is destined for a breakout. And whenever the offensive coordinator says that, I mean, I almost have to believe him a little bit just for the fact it's not like some wide receiver 5 on the roster or some crap that's just trying to help out some dude's ego. No, this is the wide receiver 2 that's, we're talking probably another year or 2 taking over the reins.
Yeah.
In that wide receiver room.
Yeah. Yeah. So, somebody posted a video of him doing a route tree or a couple routes on Twitter. That I was
fantasy football porn right there.
Yeah, I was blown away. So like I saw it. It was like really late or whatever. I replied saying, what did I say? Thoughts and prayers to the 2020 defenders who have to cover this man.
Yep,
something like that. And that absolutely blew up. But but that this guy is insane. Like his route running skills on that video were gross. Like that was mean. Like what he was doing to the guy
would have been criminal.
Yeah. I mean, some of those cuts he was making, I would have checked for blood on the other guy. They were like, he was so aggressive on those cuts, dude. It was insane. And this is an offense that's going to throw a ton. He's wide receiver 2. I don't see that changing anytime soon, like him going backwards. If anything, I don't think that Julio Jones is going to fall apart here, but he might start to regress a little bit. And Calvin Ridley is primed and ready to take over that wide receiver one role when it comes time to do so. But he doesn't have to do that to still provide wide receiver one value to you. Right. So, take him, pick him up.
If people are like, okay, why would you want two different wide receivers from the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, you just look back at what happened last year with the Bucs, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. They still gave you wide receiver one numbers on the same team.
Dallas is another area.
Just as much.
Yeah. Dallas is another team that potentially has that opportunity for you as well.
Yep.
Gallup and Amari Cooper are both really phenomenal wide receivers. So,
What we got next, Kyle?
All right, we've got Diontae Johnson. This is a guy that I've liked for a little while, and I think you have to go back to the second half of last year to really get an idea for what he was doing. He's coming into his second year, so he's second-year wide receiver. Second and third-year wide receivers are usually the guys that you should be targeting.
We like to target those.
Yeah, and so. Look, Juju didn't perform very well last year. He didn't do a great job. That was partly due to the fact that they lost Ben Roethlisberger really, really early in the season, and he was gone for the rest of the year. And so that was problematic for him. But Diontae Johnson jumped James Washington on the depth chart. And at this point, I would say that it is entirely possible that Diontae Johnson is the wide receiver one on that team. It's going to be a tough thing to finish that or to start out that way with Juju there.
Right.
But it is possible that by the end of the season, he is wide receiver one on that team. I'm not saying he's going to be wide receiver one for you, but I think that he's going to at least be a wide receiver two for you. This guy's route running is amazing. It is crazy solid. And he actually led all rookies last year in targets, and he wasn't targeted in like the first half of the season. So that's nuts. And then you add in the fact that it was Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph throwing him the ball, right?
Right.
That's a pretty darn good accomplishment. Now toss into that look, you should go check out our older breakout episode. We talked about him there, and look at those stats that I cite on him. His yards at the point of catch was like wide receiver 45, right? But then his yards after the catch tacked on put him at like wide receiver 23. So he was doing an amazing job after the catch, and he had to. They couldn't trust these quarterbacks to throw the ball past 5 yards. They literally stopped letting them throw the ball past 5 yards. Everything was just an in-breaking route, and then he goes up, and he made the first guy miss every time. It's crazy. Yeah. This guy's going to be a real talent eventually. And once Juju is completely out of the way for him, which is after this season most likely, he's going to be wide receiver one there definitely. I don't see that changing just because of who else did they put on that? They drafted somebody, didn't they?
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool, who's going to be great. But I don't think that I think they're looking to try to change James Washington. I think that's who they're trying to replace there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have anything for me on that one?
It's one of those things where that's going to be another pass-heavy offense. Whenever Big Ben's behind center, that's a pass-heavy offense. Usually you think of Pittsburgh Steelers and you want to run and pound and stuff like that. But, if he's behind center, they're going to throw the ball. Diontae Johnson played with an injury for most of last year too. That's what not everybody talks about. Report came back he's going to be fully healthy, but he had sports hernia surgery, and he said he got hurt in week 2. And he's still put up those numbers.
Wow.
After week 2 with those quarterbacks almost hitting 100 targets. Yeah, this guy's destined for a breakout, and I think currently he's still going in like wide receiver 40 range, 42.
Yeah, go ahead and take him, guys. Go take him. Yeah.
Be that guy.
Yeah, be that guy. All right, who do you have for me here at tight end on breakout?
Tight end, we actually have Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, didn't you guys just talk about Calvin Ridley? Yes, we did. We talked about another Atlanta Falcons weapon here. And one of the reasons why is vacated targets. Mm-hmm. Atlanta Falcons has the most vacated targets at 258.
Yeah.
You can't ignore that. And Hayden Hurst, they they really believe in him. They traded a second-round pick to get him from Baltimore Ravens, and he's going to slide into that Austin Hooper role, which Matt Ryan does love to throw to tight ends right down there at the end zone. He had Tony Gonzalez for many years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then Austin Hooper the last few years. So there's no reason to think that Hayden Hurst isn't going to slide right in there. His past performance hasn't quite been up to par based off his draft pedigree. He was a first-round pick by the Ravens.
They absolutely believe in him, don't they?
They absolutely believe in him, though.
They traded a really high pick.
I mean, I don't know how many people were actually calling to trade for Hayden Hurst and give up a second-round pick. That gives you an idea of how much they believe in him. What do you think on? I know you love you some Hayden Hurst, so let me hear a little bit more.
Yeah, I like Hayden Hurst a lot. I think that he's in a great position. He's obviously got to utilize the opportunity, but he's stepping into a spot that had 80 plus targets to Austin Hooper last year in less than 16 games. I think he only played 13 games. So if you estimate the last 3 games that he didn't have, I'd put him easily at 100 targets, and 100 targets to a tight end is phenomenal. Now, I don't know that Hayden Hurst is going to get 100 targets right off the bat, right? But he's really it. He's the guy. He's the tight end that they're going to be targeting. He's the guy that they paid highly for him, and he's been in the league several years. He knows how to play and perform at an NFL level. He's just been stuck behind, some random dude named Mark Andrews, right?
Right.
So he got hurt and never got the job back. It's like, DiMaggio took over for him there, right? So this is a guy I definitely like. I think it's a great opportunity. We both have been targeting the Atlanta offense a lot, and I think it does circle back to high scoring offenses are really, really good values in fantasy football. And when you find a guy who's not being drafted highly, he's going around 14, 13, then you have a really good chance to get something that's a good value. So I think that's it on breakouts, right? Yeah. That's it.
That's what we got guys. On breakouts. So let us know who else you think breakout players, anybody out there that you're hoping for, or just have some more information on. Let us know in the comments below. We'll definitely take a look at them and see. Give you our opinion as well. But make sure you don't just say this guy and just leave it at that. Let us know a little bit more.
Yeah, give us some reasons.
We want to interact.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you click that subscribe button down there. Make sure that you click the bell as well, so that you're notified every time that we upload the best fantasy football podcast on the internet. And we want to thank you for being a fan of the Upside, and we will see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.